Hi, Fayetteville First family. Welcome to our Wednesday roundup, in which we have the opportunity to share announcements of what's going on in the life of our congregation, as well as look ahead to events and have a brief time of devotion. Uh, as you see this, one of the things that I am going to be attempting to do is some puns as we go through these announcements. So if you have a better pun that you can make with any of the announcements that I make, please feel free to comment and keep the thread going. Just be kind and be clean. So here we go. Back to school blessing. For those of you that are returning to school or serving our schools or have family, friends in our schools, next Thursday, August 20th, we're going to have a back to school blessing from 4 to 6 in the church office on the porch, an opportunity for you to drive through to receive a prayer of blessing. I once had a voice teacher, when she handed me a piece of music to study, say find about 3/4 or 4/5 of the way through the piece and circle it, because that's when the human tendency tends to drop off because you know you're close. Well, Thursday of next week will be 4/5 through the first week of school as we start a new school year for many folks in Fayette County. I know some folks have already gone back, but there'll be an opportunity to recharge and receive a blessing for our students, for our teachers, for our families. So whether you're a family, student, teacher, or would just like to come have a prayer of blessing, Allie and Carson will be leading that on the back porch in the church office next Thursday, October 20th. You may be going to school online. You may be going to school in a brick and mortar setting, but our love will be anything but virtual. Next up is you may have seen our on-campus gathering guidelines. We continue to offer online worship, but we know that some groups are looking for space or common ground to meet in. So there are guidelines on the website, but we do ask that you call to schedule if your group is going to be meeting so that we can plan ahead for cleaning and making sure the church office is available. We ask that you plan ahead so we don't have to mask you twice. Next up is our Rise Against Hunger event on August 23rd, that's Sunday, from 1 to 3 and then 3:30 to 5:30. We're breaking it down into 2 shifts so that we can practice safe distancing between those shifts and so that we don't have too many people. We're having 2 different shifts, and we do have a 2-step registration process. One through our church website so that we can receive a donation towards the packing event, but that way we can also plan for how many folks are going to be at each packing station from 1 to 3 or 3:30 to 5:30. That's the first step. The second step is going to the Rise Against Hunger website and signing their waiver and release of liability form. There will be a donate button there, but you don't have to donate through Rise Against Hunger, particularly if you've donated through our church giving software. If you'd like to give more, there will be opportunities to do that at a later time. But I'm reminded through our previous work with Rise Against Hunger that one of the last things that you put in is rice because it's easiest to take out if it's above the pay scale. So as you anticipate prayerfully participating through your presence or through your gifts, may we all be reminded of the joy and excitement that came from that 90s Vanilla Ice rap hit, Rice, Rice, Baby. Save the date if you're interested in doing mission work down in South Georgia. They're still doing recovery work through UMCOR, through the relief efforts from Hurricane Matthew in that area. October 11th through 16th, I'll be leading a team to go down there. And we do ask that even if you don't have any prior construction experience, if you're able to learn and be willing and adapt, you're able to come with us on that trip. We do ask that you stay the whole week, and more information will become available as the project gets closer to time. But it looks like we'll be doing a lot of flooring work while we're there. So I promise you that while I'm in charge, we will not bottom out. If you have not had the opportunity yet to do the spiritual gifts inventory and survey and then return it to the church, we encourage you to do so. It is an opportunity for us to share in ministry, to share our gifts, and to share our talents together. We are at an unusual time in the life of our church, but one that gives us great joy and great hope for what we can do. So I hope that if you have not stopped by the church office, you will have the chance to do that as the office is open, or pick one up when you're around the church building. You may be asking yourself, what might I have to give when it comes to these spiritual gifts? But I'm sure God will allow that to be revealed as it presents itself to us. Lastly, we're going to bring back the drive-through prayer time, but we're just going to be doing it on Wednesdays, but expanded hours from 10 to 12 on Wednesdays beginning next week, Wednesday, August 19th. You're invited to come by to pray, to pick up a directory or a spiritual gifts inventory, to drop off donation for ongoing ministries that we have, or just to come by and offer a time of prayer. I'm reminded of the song, "His Eye is on the Sparrow," and how God watches over us. So we'll be having this on the office side of the church through the drive-through section where we have before. So if you'll come around to the side porch where we will be reminded, as they say in the song, "His Eye is on the Sparrow," the Lord is my portion. Lastly, just a word of encouragement. I'm reminded of Jesus' words in the 15th chapter of John's Gospel, where Jesus says, "My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete." As we continue to be the church, we know that we come with a complex myriad of emotions and thoughts and ideas. But when we bear fruit together, God's joy is made complete. Not that we will always be joyful or that we won't escape pain or problems, but God's joy will be made in us complete when we abide in God's love. Maybe we find ways to abide in that love and to live into the life that God has us as Fayetteville First United Methodist Church. So until then, be smart, be safe, have fun out there.